Ventini, welcome back to the channel. I'm Alberto, and I'm going to bring you all the latest news surrounding Juventus to June 6th. We're going to talk about the latest discussions happening around the central defender, Matthias de Ligt, okay? He's had an interview done over the past couple days as he's on break with the Dutch national side, and all hell has broken loose on Matthias de Ligt's future. We're going to get into that. We're going to get into the plot twist on Di Maria to Juventus and what's happened over the past couple days. Then we'll get into Paul Pogba and the latest headline from the one who was first to report Vlahovic, and then, of course, how the recovery of our young gun Federico Chiesa is going. Let's go. All right, Juventini, quick reminder to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It's all Juvecast. It's all Juve all the time. All right, your one-stop shop for everything Juventus. Now let's get into the news. So Matthias de Ligt, the latest on the de Ligt situation. He's come out with an interview. One of those interviews was taken way out of context and basically sent out with a clickbait headline that got a lot of Juventini up in arms about him looking to leave. So the latest in a proper breakdown of the interview is that he's just speaking to where he stands with Juventus, basically saying that there is nothing agreed upon already, which is what was reported earlier, that they've agreed to an extension. That's not the deal. The discussions are in the initial contacts stages. That's basically what de Ligt has said. So initial stages on the contract extension. Release clause, we know that he's trying to get a lower release clause. This would be symbolized also in his words, basically talking about the project and saying that at Juventus we must win, and finishing fourth and whatnot. Like, there needs to be more. This is nothing new to us as Juventini. We know that we run the risks of losing top talent if the project doesn't progress and grow. And over the 3 years that Matthias de Ligt's been with us, there's been 3 coaching changes. The success has not been to the level of what it needs to be, and we've been bounced in the same stage at Champions League. So yes, for a player of his talent, his level, he should be looking for more. There's nothing wrong with that. But that's the latest. Juventus needs to handle this situation very, very carefully. Okay. So according to Fabiana Della Valle, who was first to report Vlahovic to Juventus, she says, do not be worried about de Ligt's words, and Juventus are not worried about de Ligt's words. But having said that, Manchester United and Chelsea are circling for the Dutch defender. We know now that his ex-manager from Ajax, Erik ten Hag, is now looking after the Manchester United project. Both of those projects don't necessarily put fear in me about losing de Ligt, not just quite yet, but the whole scenario is a little bit unnerving for Juventini because of the fact that if they cannot find an extension for de Ligt after this season, he runs into his final year, and this situation needs to be handled very, very carefully by Juventus, because you do not want to see this guy go into a final contract year, and then Juventus will lose a lot of leverage and release clauses, all that. None of it will matter. So you need to be very, very carefully. And I will say this: if the replacement is there, if there's a strong replacement option out there currently, maybe, just maybe, Juventus might be better off to bite the bullet sooner rather than later. But a lot of us Juventini, I am one of them, felt even when he signed that it would be very, very unlikely that he would remain beyond that initial contract at Juventus. And maybe we're starting to see that unfolding. But that's the latest on Matthias de Ligt. Of course, we wait to see, hoping for the contract extension, even at a lowered release clause, but it is what it is. Take that lowered release clause later on down the road. Might be better than losing all leverage going into a final contract season, right? So it is what it is, but it's got to be handled very, very carefully by Juventus. Now let's get to the latest on Di Maria. There's been a major plot twist there with Di Maria, and now it is being said that Benfica and Barcelona have shown interest in Di Maria. Benfica project not as tempting, especially since they still have to qualify for the Champions League and go through those qualifiers. But Barcelona, and we know that Di Maria and his family, as of late, we're hearing that they prefer going to Spain, and he might make a move for his family. And Barcelona apparently is in the mix. Juventus offering 2 years to the player, but he only wants 1. They're trying to get a 2-year deal so that that growth decree will kick in, and then they can get a break on the player's wages and everything. But for me, it's a stopgap signing. So even doing this 2-year for financial savings isn't actually benefiting the club. Take your 1 year. And if the salary is too high and you won't be able to do it without that growth decree, then move on. Move on to your next targets. That's what I say in terms of Di Maria. But this is the latest, and Barcelona is making a push. There are some outlets saying that Di Maria has now given his yes to Barcelona. We just have to wait and see what develops. We know that there's another meeting set and one to hopefully seal the deal, but let's see what happens here. But there is a major twist, and now Barcelona is looking apparently at Di Maria and making the move. But again, the sources aren't the strongest just yet, so let's wait and see what develops there. In terms of Paul Pogba and getting back to Fabiana Delavana, the first one to report Vlahovic to Juventus when it went down, she says Pogba to Juventus is all done. There is nothing left to agree upon. Originally, Juventus, she continues, was going to give the number 10 to Federico Chiesa, but that was before the Pogba discussion started. And now with the Pogba deal basically closed, he could take the number 10. Thoughts on that, Juventini? For me, real quick, I will remain. I didn't want Chiesa to get it. I don't want Paul to get it. Leave the 10 vacant, and you will know when and who should take it. All right. But this is the latest. Paul Pogba, apparently, according to Fabian Della Valle, all done. All done. Nothing left. Signed and sealed, delivered, waiting for announcement. So there you have it. Now, getting back to Federico Chiesa, his recovery is apparently going extremely well. On July 4th, he's going to start a little bit more intense training program individually as he ramps up to get back into team training. September to October is still the return date for Federico Chiesa. And now we got to remember that there is a World Cup break shortly after October there in November, and we will just see if he can get some games in before 2023. Let's wait and see. But that's the latest on all the news surrounding Juventus. Can't wait to hear all your thoughts. It's been a wild one on social media, of course, with the whole Ligt situation, but I can't wait to hear all your thoughts and opinions on this. We had a great live chat discussion yesterday, which was fantastic. Check it out if you haven't. A lot of it was kind of covered, but let's go mix it up. Drop your thoughts and opinions in the comment section to this video. Don't forget to like it and, of course, subscribe. Till tomorrow, fino alla fine. Forza Juve. Ciao tutti.